We are live, and this is just going to be the three of us at this time. So I do appreciate you guys being a part of it, and obviously thank you UAB for putting this together um, for us. As a Patreon membership benefit, and the fact that you're helping put this together is actually a good thing. So. Um, and in addition, there are, this is actually one of the podcasts that we've not done in a while. So, we're looking to see if there's any Patreon members in the future that would like to be part of it as well. So we're always welcoming people. And um, for the most part, I think everybody in the regiment pretty much knows me. Um, but if you're new, then you're probably not aware, or maybe you have some knowledge. But for the most part, you're probably going to notice that I'm heavily involved in the day-to-day operations of the regiment as far as the Discord goes, and also playing with everybody as well. Might be a couple of people I don't know yet, but overall, I am the person who's leading and managing the Discord itself, and then we also have squad leaders like Kenny as well. And of course, I'll let Kenny just provide a slight and quick introduction about himself, and then also UAV, who's recently taken the role of Patreon manager as well to manage the Patreon sessions, and we're really grateful for that. But overall, hope to see you guys out in the battlefield. I'll go ahead and switch it over to Kenny just for a brief and quick introduction.
Yeah, hey, so I'm Kenny. I've been in all the podcasts so far, I believe. I'm a squad lead for Last Resort. Been in the regiment for a very long time, pretty much since it was created. Uh, I love the regiment with all my heart. We got good stuff going on. Um, Game Master missions are starting to come back into flux. I love that. We had a little stall there for a little bit and some technical difficulties, but that's one of my favorite parts about this is the community being able to create things, and that's what I enjoy right now with the regiment. So that's all I got right this second.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thanks, Kenny. Appreciate appreciate your your feedback there, and about your time in the regiment and good things you have to say about it. I'll go ahead and move it over to UAV.
Hello, I'm UAV. I joined the regiment about 2 months ago, so I'm kind of new. I kind of met them on my first, like my third day of Arma. Kind of a great community. I've met some really good people here, and I'm really happy to actually be here and kind of like support. I've noticed like the community does need a lot of support, and I'm glad that I'm able to contribute to it at least one way or another. Uh, so yeah, that's all I have to say for that.
Excellent. So again, thank you, UAV, for this, um, for the help and for the support that you're providing as well. And I think for the most part, we are going to go ahead and just kind of start jumping into the topics. That way, we're not you know wasting any time, and we can conclude on time as well. But I think it's also a good thing that it's just a couple of us here in the regiment, that are part of the Patreon today, because that will just make sure that we use our time effectively, and that way everybody else that's listening can probably um, at some point you become a Patreon member, then it is a good thing that to put forth and have, so that so you can become part of these podcasts. They're very informative. We share a lot of insights, and we hope that you can join us when you do become a Patreon member. So let's go ahead and just kind of delve into the first topic, which is the PvP battles that we've had, and we're just gonna discuss a little bit about those PvP battles. We can go into depth. We can go into detail about what would happen, what went wrong, how many PvP battles we've had, and so on and so forth. But overall, just kind of share the perspective that we've had with those PvP battles. And of course, if there's anybody in the audience, either in any of the platforms that we're currently streaming on, you put your comment in the comment section, then we will be able to, if you have any questions or anything, you can also write them there and we'll be able to answer them. So for starters, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Kenny. So Kenny, you can, give us your opinion about the latest PvP battles that we've had, what your experience has been, and if you find them to be good, interesting, or what your general thoughts are on it.
Okay. Um, so I've got a love-hate relationship with the PvP battles. I really do enjoy them, but it just sucks when we can't get enough people. Uh, my squad in particular, some events has been a little lacking with members showing up, but I feel recently, through the last few, that we've been in good numbers and been able to kick some ass. But I do really enjoy them. Um, it brings the more serious side of the regiment in play, where you can be more organized, and a lot of people enjoy that, and I do too from time to time. It's just we went in like a sprawl there for a while where we were doing them like weekly, and that's great. But when it comes to PvP, there needs to be training, and if we're not training for it, we still have a good chance to win because we're badass like that. But it makes it harder to organize, and it brings it kind of spur of the moment, and it's good to be prepared when it comes to PvP. But I've been enjoying them. Looking forward to the next one. Hope we can get some more numbers for it. But that's really all that comes to mind. I guarantee you, I have so much more when it comes to PvP. We just haven't. I have not been in one for like 2 weeks or so. Um, so yeah, that's all I got right now.
Okay. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you for that insights, for those insights for sure. Definitely agree on some of those things. So, what about you, UAB? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, coming from a person that's never played Arma that much, it's kind of a new experience. It's like we actually kind of somewhat know who we're fighting up against. I've been in, I think, all except one event, so I've gotten to see a majority of the fights close hand, and many of the Rome platoon fights we've definitely had. Kenny's right about training. We definitely need to do training with some people. I feel like we've had some issues where people will just deviate from like our goal. I know, especially with the last one against Rome Platoon we did, we had some issues with the northern front. We just had some problems with people trying to like deviate and go off and not like hold the front, and we almost lost it there. So I guess training's probably going to need to be a big point, like moving forward for any PvP battles. Whether we like, if you want to be in it, you have to be. You already have the certification stuff, right? With like people need to be certified to like be able to do this, and maybe we increase like the qualifications for that, and
I
then
I think we should add on to that and make those who are certified be required to show up for one training at least, uh, and those who are not certified required to show up to two trainings before every event. Um, I have another addition. Shit, I just had it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Uh, yeah. So I'm not a huge fan of including randoms in the PvP events. Um, like when we do them, sometimes they stick with me in my squad, and I've got to like explain what's going on, and they're like, "Why don't you do that on like a separate server?" Like, yeah, why don't we do that on a separate server? I understand it's hard to get numbers for both squad or for both discords to align, but I don't know. I think we should start looking into maybe if we have more numbers, like selecting who's going to be involved, or resorting to things like that, or waiting until the other Discord can actually match us. Um, I think we should start looking into solutions like that, or maybe different solutions. I don't know, but playing with randoms kind of alters the fairness of it a little bit, and I feel like we can kick some ass with or without random help, you know. And there's been events, PvP events that we've had where randoms have outnumbered us, or we have outnumbered them with randoms, So it really just alters the playbook a little bit, and that's not fun. We can kick some ass on our own.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So it can be a complicated situation, when it comes to those PvPs, because I agree with Kenny as well, as far as both UAB and Kenny definitely having that training handy, making sure that everybody in that is going to be participating in those training, that's why we have a private PvP channel, and it's those individuals that are in the private PvP channel definitely have to become part of those training sessions. And if you're part of of the PvP, and if you want to participate in those sessions, it's not going to be one of those easy things that we can just kind of dismiss. If you want to be part of the PvP, you really have to demonstrate that you have the ability to at least show up and for an hour or two, so that we can successfully coordinate and battle the other Discord. And I think that sometimes we forget that, and obviously, we get the part, right. It's a video game. It is a game, at the end of the day, and that is what makes it pretty cool. I think that's what makes it even much more immersive. The fact that we have a half milsim, half community, and there's kind of the best of both worlds, and that's why we have squads and squad leaders, and we have structure. But then on the other side of the coin, we also have community of people that just want to play, no obligations. They just want people to play with. They just want a team of individuals that plays together. And that is what makes us very good at what we do. But there is also that notion that if you're going to step up, you better show up. And I think that there are situations, or there have been situations, where we definitely had PvPs where we had a particular event in a day, and we have very little turnout. We have very little attendance. And unfortunately, that is something which, if people are asking, why did we lose that game, or why did we lose that match? Well, it's not. It's very easy, to get carried away on a third person perspective, especially if we're kind of looking at things from the outside and not understanding that during those games that we have together, we have to be, on our A game, and not only just be on our A game, but also show up and be there. And that's why those events are also scheduled. So that's also why we put a poll. So we put a poll up so that individuals can vote on it and see if they're going to show up that day. And unfortunately, it happens that people forget to vote, right? But at the same time, we want to have and leave that open so that individuals who either did not vote, obviously we have to take actions and repercussions on them to remove them from the PvP channel. And that's something that we had done last time. Fortunately, we did not have to kick anybody out. But for future reference, we will have to kick people out of that PvP channel because we're only looking for the individuals that are serious. For the
I
most part, are constructed of uh, combat of squad members, team leaders, and squad leaders. But overall, if you're a community member and you're wanting to participate in those games, then you've got to have some level of responsibility. And for the most part, squad members, leaders, and squad leaders have carried on or have tacked on those responsibilities, those basic responsibilities in the regiment. So I think for me, that is one of the things that really just kind of marks the PvP line. That it's yeah, I mean it's good to kind of sit and judge when you're not part of it, when you weren't even in it, but it's better when you're part of it, as far as like experience wise, when you're actually a part of it and you can actually brag about it, but then also support the rest of the guys that are already in the game and that are, especially if we don't have anybody show up or we have very little attendance, then it just, it doesn't really help to,
when it comes to attendance, I think we should not only use the poll. The poll is great, but a lot of people don't use the Discord app itself. I can only imagine like at least half of our guys just jump in there to check out server codes and maybe look through other channels every now and then. I don't know, but I would assume a good amount of our guys do that just to hop in games. I think we should use direct communication as well and like approach people and say, hey, like we've got a PvP event coming up, we got a training tomorrow or like day after next, like would you want to join and like tell them a little bit about it or something. Um, just more, it's you're more able to convince people to join when you can give them a direct description of what it's going to be about. And I feel people might be avoidant for the trainings because like, oh, been there, done that, like I know what I'm doing. Or like training like that, I don't want to join a fucking training, like I know what I'm doing. um, but the trainings, it's literally just we jump into a regular conflict mode, and sometimes we do it against each other even. Um, and we just get more organized and we plan things because like some squads don't have full member capacity, or some squads have too many members. Like once you reach that six, like your squad's full. And really, like you could split up into teams or whatever, but we do that, but Last Resort does that. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, uh, if we can get uh, to talk to people like in game more and convince them in game rather than just say like on Discord, like answer the poll, will you be there? Like we can actually talk to people and be like, hey, this is what's going down. It's a fun time. We're gonna need your help to win. Um, and we need to approach people who want that more serious side. And it's not even that much more serious. I mean, it is, but compared to like our best games where we're actually doing what we should be doing, which is communication and teamwork, those should be like our top priority. When we're actually fulfilling those goals, it comparable to PvP. I mean, it's not that much different. Like our best games are pretty much what we do in PvP. So
yeah,
I think we can get more of an audience involved with PvP if we approach it in that sort of a way.
definitely, definitely. I mean, overall, I think we've had very successful PvPs
Yeah, I agree.
lately. We've had very successful PvPs against uh, mainly against Everon Evolved and Rome Platoon. Really, the thing that with the Beardos is just kind of like like it's just I don't even know what to think about them anymore because it's just been prolonging the PvP battle, especially if
Well, I think they're going through a I don't know, but I think they're going through issues with members, and they just don't have a count or enough training in regular conflict and vanilla conflict. So I think those are their top struggles with that, and that's why they keep trying to switch it up and see if we want to like try Koligiv, or I don't even know how to pronounce that.
I think it's
It's
Kovacic.
what? I need to look it up. I don't know.
Kovacic?
I always get on people for mispronouncing things. I can't mispronounce something. But
Villanueva.
Villanueva, Levi,
Mo.
Limumu.
Heard Levi too many times. You're gonna go to military base, Levi.
Who does that a lot? I
You
think
ever worn a
Spencer
pair
does
of
that.
Levi jeans?
Let's go to
Well,
Levi.
I don't really understand this game sometimes because although if I'm correct, all the town names are in French, but
Yeah.
the faction speaks Czech, so it's like
Yeah, it's
it
all
just doesn't make sense.
yeah.
I've researched the lore behind like location and all that stuff before, like several times. I just always forget it. I can't remember that shit. So it confuses me a
That's a
little
hard
bit
one.
sometimes. And
Definitely a hard one. Well, um, well let's see. So as far as PvP battles go, I've had the situ at least the last PvP battles that we've had, and just kind of going into detail, is the first thing that we and I'm not going to probably, or maybe I shouldn't go over the main strategy of how we actually carry out our PvP battles. But I think overall, it's very simple that we typically, and I know some of us have different thoughts or different ideas when it comes to the PvP sessions. Um, you know, during some of those games, we basically,
there's definitely different ways you can go about it, but I feel the biggest thing when it comes to PvP is knowing when to adapt, because you can easily get overcome. Um,
yeah,
so it's
yeah, yeah.
just it's good to know for
Well,
like the commanders and
it's
squad
good to
leads.
adapt, but it's also good to it's definitely good to adapt. It's good to strategize,
It's good to refine
but it's
too.
yeah, but it's also good to work with what you have, and work
Yeah,
what tools you have at your disposal. For example, you have backpack radios. We know why we use those. We know why those are very important. The second thing that I think a lot of people don't understand yet, and kind of frustrates me, is the command trucks. And I cannot tell you how valuable and
I don't
important
I don't
they
understand why you have to
are.
take the supplies out.
It's just, I don't know why, because that was not the case back then. Back then,
Yeah,
before
I've
this
not used
update,
it since like the first big
yeah,
update.
yeah, like that. Obviously, the, before you could um, just add the supplies to the command truck. You go set up the command truck, and as long as actually, and before it was 800 supplies, and now it's only 400. But back then, you could just place it down and deploy the command truck, and anybody can spawn in it. You don't have to take no supplies out. But now, obviously, you put the command truck. I usually put the command trucks typically in strategic locations, like next to main bases or bases that I know are of importance. I don't really like I sometimes do use it for extending radio signal, but I would rather use it to not only extend some
I
radio.
love it. I love using it for signal,
I
personally.
I I don't like that's like one of the last things. That's only an emergency case. So, for example,
It's really good to get a
I
jump on them too.
well, yeah, but it doesn't really help when you're not utilizing it in a way where you can have 400 supplies in it, and then you can place it next to an important base. So the main locations where I typically use these are. Oh, I think Jeff's jumping in. I'll let him in. But
Jeff.
typically we're.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy? We're talking about the PvP battles, and right now we're on the topic or subject of using the different resources that you use in the game, and I'm just going over the command truck. But just very basic is that I typically use those command trucks near coastal bases, or deploy those command trucks near coastal bases, or I usually deploy them at or near Entredu, because obviously a lot of people hate Entredu, but I think it's a very important location because the last time we
It
did
is.
lose a PvP, it was because of Entredu. It was because we left the middle area
It's
open and the
because of
enemy
Andre's beacon.
we cut
Yeah,
through.
Andre's fucking beacon, dude.
And
That
Andre's
place is a
beacon, of
fucking
course.
nightmare.
Yeah, those are I think a lot of locations people hate going to, including myself. Like I hate spending time in Entredu, like 'cause you can spend the whole game in Entree because there's always going to be somebody or an enemy going to Entree. Once you get
People
them,
always think of Entree, but they underestimate the importance of Horny Beaver and Andre's beacon, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Horny Beaver is a nightmare of a spot to lose. It's really funny. In the last game I was just playing with the boys, we actually lost because we lost Entree. So the same situation, and we lost
Because
Entree, and
they
they were
give you the
able
connection from
to.
hospital to Chotain, and that's so important if you
Yes.
lose tower.
No, yeah.
Mhm. And that was a really rough game for us. But then again, also it was 29 U.S. versus 18 Russians. So, and I had the regiment pushing the west side, and we lost the east side. So most of the randoms were over on the other side, but they were completely uncoordinated
That's
and
the
got Goomba
problem.
stomped. Even though
Yeah.
we had, I think, about 15 dudes on our side, even though they had more people than us on the west, that we still ended up losing the east. Um, but when it comes to placing that command truck, I agree with Warlord. There's those certain spots that for radio range are incredibly important. I also think that it's
That's
a
what I'm
wise.
saying.
Yeah, I think that it's incredibly important to have one out almost at all times, whether you think it's in a good spot or not. Just having one out is a game changer because if you lose, like let's say you lose an entire back line and you had a command truck in the back, right? Well, now even if you lost all the way up to 2 or 3 points, after that you still have radio range with that thing. It goes a long way, so it can really save your ass, and you can still conduct some bullshit single person capping spots across the map with that command truck. And I also think it's important to realize when you don't need it for the radio range aspect, and when you need it for the troop movement capacity. So when you just
yeah,
need bodies, sometimes you got to give the order, hey, everyone fucking kill yourself, spawn on the fucking on the command truck and push this objective. We need the whole group right here. We will deal with the aftermath later, because
Yeah, from
sometimes you just
saying that
need
from a
that main
command pre-
objective.
saying that from a command perspective is it's important to like discern the the people you're taking away from where, like if you got something really pivotal happening and you need backup, you're gonna have to
What's
discern
up?
where
What do you
to
do?
pull guys,
Okay.
because some people are also doing some important shit, and if they stop what they're doing, we may lose a
I don't know.
front.
Yeah,
Um,
it's on the thing. Like on
so
if you go to
for
the
for
Discord.
that, I still think that,
Hold
and
on, hold
because
on.
of my
You can log
personal
into it like on the.
experience
You don't
using
have to
command
download it.
truck,
You can just log in.
Jeff, Warlord's trying to talk. Mute your mic.
I just
yeah,
do.
Jev.
All right, so because because
What the fuck? I thought my mic was muted. What the fuck?
It's
you're
all
good,
good.
you're good,
I am so sorry.
you're good, bud. So I just want everybody to
This
understand
is
one thing is yes, I again just kind of touching back to the command truck because I feel like some of us lack understanding of how it actually, like, where you should place it and why you should place it that way. But we need to be aware, especially, Kenny, if you don't know the supplies have to be out of the command truck until you start exploring the idea of where you're going to influence spawns, the next time, especially if we're talking about randoms, right? So a lot of randoms, I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of randoms that spawn on the command truck. And typically, if you want an area that you want to, let's say, overflow with friendlies, or there's an area that you want to specifically, um, attack. Besides using backpack radios, the command truck, especially, let's say you're talking about coastal base Morton. Let's say that you're talking about, especially if there's some areas that already have supply depots around, or in the town, or you're talking about maybe coastal base Lamenton, you're talking about coastal base Morton, maybe you're talking about coastal base Chotane, or even base Levy, right? There are supply depots around where you can actually put the command truck. Now, in the event that you're on the offensive, right? You're not necessarily on the defensive, but maybe you're on the offensive, then the command truck helps out a lot, because then you can just load it up with supplies. And Weso does this a lot with me as well. But the reason why I always grab it is if I know that this area can be capped, we can take care of it, or we can attack it.
You're a little muffled.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, so how do you do that, by the way? I was going to ask that earlier. So if you're bringing a supply truck, because you were saying like you need to unload the supplies from the command truck. So if you've got a supply truck tag along with the command truck, do you have to unload the supplies from the supply truck, or is it good, or how does that work? This could be a education moment right here.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So the idea is that you can use it multiple ways, and I think you have to be kind of creative, not only with the command truck, but also with the backpack radio. Because whenever you use the backpack radio, it's only people within your squad, so you can only have 6 people either fast travel to it, which is very effective, or two, you can spawn on it and take up 20 supplies, obviously, and then the same kind of function goes with the command truck without the actual fast traveling, right? But then you also give access to anybody else, to everyone that's in your faction, to be able to spawn on the command truck, regardless of whether they're in your squad or not. So that is pretty valuable if you're able to put the supplies out. So typically, let's say we're talking about coastal base Morton. Usually there's 2 different supply depots, and if you're not really aware of where all the supplies are, we've shared a website multiple times where you can actually go and explore the different areas around Everon where there are supply depots, right? But typically, if there's a supply depot in a garage, I typically post or leave the command truck next to that garage and then just deploy it. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to take out supplies from it, because it's going to start using the supplies from that supply depot. Now, if in the event that you do not have access to one of those supply areas in the town, or somewhere around a garage or a barn, then you take your command truck, you go into your inventory, and if you have ever loaded supplies from a supply depot to a vehicle, then you can do it off of your inventory menu. So what I typically do is that I typically go into my inventory, I select the command truck, and I click on the command truck, or I press A on it, and then it says, do you want to take supplies out? Or it says something to do with, do you want to move the supplies? But what you're essentially doing is you're moving the supplies out of the command truck, and you're leaving them on the outside. I don't know if you ever done that, Kenny, but you can do that with not only
Yeah, I
the
remember last time you asked me to use it recently. I moved the command truck and I didn't do that. I don't understand why you have to do that. That makes absolutely no sense to me. But
yeah.
Can I
It,
ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Do we have that? Because I've heard you mention the link to the map for the supply locations. Do we have that pinned in one of the chats or something somewhere? Because I've never seen the
S
link. I've
I
just heard
haven't
you
either.
talk about it.
Yeah,
SO just posted it somewhere.
SO posted it. I'm gonna go ahead and share it again. But
Can you pin it in one of the chats as well so it's easy to find?
yeah, for sure. I'll pin it on the PvP channels.
Awesome.
James, actually, it's on there. It's the most recent one that SO shared
You
on
already
the
pinned
Okay.
PvP
it.
regiment. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I see it.
Oh, bet.
So,
Okay.
but if you, let's say again, if it has to do with supplies, like typically just take the supplies of the command truck. Another thing that Weso does is that he will grab a supply vehicle, and then he will take the supply truck and move it over to the command truck, and then take the supplies out of the supply vehicle, or out of the supply truck. And then that way you can lay as many supplies as you want outside of the command truck, and you can go up to 1,000 or 2,000 if you're willing to put that many supplies out there, and you can have 2,000 supplies. And it's very useful because then you have a it's like having a radio that has a crap load of supplies that you can use, and then on top of that, everybody in your entire faction can spawn on it. And yes, I mean, it'll definitely extend the radio signal, but I would typically use the command truck in situations where, again, I want to attack a base and I want to concentrate the pressure on that base, because I know there's going to be randoms or friendlies that are going to be spawning on that command truck, and we need to push this objective because it might be the last objective that we need to cap and to win the game. And as long as you're maintaining constant pressure on it by having constant spawns on it, that's going to help you start either it's going to if they're really good, it's going to turn into a war of attrition. So we'll see which side runs out of supplies, because eventually you've got people running supplies into the base, but if we can just overload that base and cut them off, they're not going to be able to get supplies out of there, right? But in the desperate situation, the second time where I would use in the event that we get cut off, right? We get cut off of a base, then I would be like, okay, it's an emergency now. We need to use the command truck so that we can extend signal so that we can get access back to that base so we can get our spawns into those other areas. So typically um, I would use the command truck to extend the radio signal in the emergency that we're caught off of signal. So other than that, I mean, I don't like using it just for radio extension. I
Warlord, I think I have an addition to that. So I agree that it's a fat ass group of supplies on it can really make the difference. But I also think that it's really important that we emphasize upon the Arma community to use the command truck, because you see it in a lot of games that we play when we go in and we're like, hey guys, there's a command truck down. Come on, use the command truck or whatever. We got it in a really good spot and we got like thousands of supplies on it or anything. And it's just, we need to tell them that it's okay to use the fucking thing. I think that it's really, really important for that. So that we, as a community can grow, not just like us, but the Arma community as well.
Yeah. I mean, so I like that idea. The only thing I would have with it is that there's people that don't know how to use it, and so they'll just grab it and then they'll use it for a radio extension, even though we don't need it, and then they'll completely forget about the command truck, and it's just completely forgotten. And it's like way back in the base where where it doesn't even need radio extension anymore because
It's
we've already
another
expanded
thing
so
is
far.
if we're in a situation like that, we need to, if we have a pilot up, we need to be like, hey, pilot, like go tear down the command truck real quick for us, please.
Yeah.
Something like that. Somebody that can easily access it.
Yeah, we can do
So-
that too. Like Lux is perfectly capable of doing that.
Forgive my ignorance a little bit, but does the command truck have to be deployed to give the radio extension?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. That makes a big difference.
Your ignorance is forgiven.
I never use the command truck, so I really don't know much about
You also
it.
don't play with us enough, you goofball.
I am playing my autistic dinosaur game right now.
That's okay. I also love the Isle.
Yes,
No.
the Isle is amazing.
No, yeah, I'm one of the bigger guys on using the truck for the relay station and then completely forgetting about it. And that's Warlord has had multiple experiences where I've been the fault of that. So I definitely understand where he's like coming
Me
from
too, a little bit.
about it.
Well,
Yeah.
especially when you put it
You
down,
just get
dude.
wrapped up in the
Yeah.
objective that you're going for.
Yeah,
and
sometimes it
opens
happens,
a whole
man.
new front for you.
The game just
Yeah.
becomes too fun, and it's just like screw the command truck at that point.
It's like, yeah, don't worry
you're
about it
like
later.
3 bases down. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
not going back for that
If we're
shit.
pushing
I'll do the
forward,
same thing with a radio backpack and then get pissed at myself because I have to go collect
I've
it
started.
later.
The
Yeah.
biggest strat is just making a new squad and getting a new radio.
Yeah,
man.
and just abandon it. Yeah.
yeah.
It's honestly a really good strategy. Like, it seems lazy, and it is, but it makes it quicker and more efficient.
But you know what
The
you can
only thing
also
with
do
that
for
is-
now is you can like at least Esso showed me this, the little cheater. So what he showed me was that, and what I've been doing actually is that as soon as your backpack radio runs out of supplies and you still got a teleport left, what we'll do is that we'll put down the radio backpack, and then the next thing that we'll do is we'll um, fast travel to the radio, but then before you fast travel, like the second that
Grab
you
a new.
fast travel,
I
yeah,
showed you that.
was it you or was it
Yeah, I
Russell?
showed you that a long time ago. So
Really?
you put your radio on the ground.
Yeah.
I showed Esso too. You put your
Okay.
radio on the ground, and then you get ready to teleport. You don't have a backpack on. You're looking at the equip radio, because it happens
Yeah.
real quick. And then you teleport, and you just press equip, and you've got a brand new
Yeah.
radio with you.
Yeah. And then all you gotta do is just go disable the other one and put the new one down because it's got
Dude, that's
supplies.
Okay.
nasty. That's amazing.
Somebody
I
was
love that.
complaining about that yesterday because they were calling they were saying like, oh, Warlord, you cheater, blah blah blah. They're doing the glitch. He didn't even know what glitch he was talking about. Or like, what?
Honestly,
Isn't that
I
even a
feel
glitch?
like glitching isn't that bad if it
Ah.
doesn't ruin the game.
I
You
don't
know?
even really see it as a glitch. Yeah.
It's not. It's an exploit, but it's not a glitch.
I mean,
it is what it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
tomato,
like
tomato.
my stance on Arma is it's already so fucking jank that
yeah.
half the time it doesn't even matter if you're glitching or doing anything like that. I think the only one that's truly annoying is the AI spam glitch. That one sucks.
I don't
That
think
one
I
sucks.
don't even know anything about that.
Yeah, I
That
don't
sounds
know.
rough.
Yeah, we've had a few games where somebody's used it. It's basically where I'm not gonna obviously go in depth on how to do it, but you get to spam AI to another base. So you basically spawn in a bunch of AI and tell them to go somewhere, and there's a way you can do it to keep spawning more AI at a base. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go in depth how to do it, but you can
Yeah, we don't
basically
wanna
send
go
waves
into
upon
that.
waves of AI, and after the first 2 waves get there, depending on where you are on the map, you can basically get them there like every 10 or so minutes, and it's like
Speaking of-
15 AI.
Speaking of
fucking
AI,
nightmare.
I'll just gripe on something that is an actual feature, not a glitch or anything that I just don't like. The AI mortars. I don't like it. I think if you're using a mortar, you need to learn the fucking math and do it yourself.
I agree with that.
I'm
I
not good
think
at that,
I
To
man.
have
agree
the
with that.
power of a mortar, you need to learn how to use it and not just
So,
click
My
buttons.
thing with that is like the more actual players we have pushing an objective, the better. So if you can utilize AI to do it, great. But the only thing with that is like it gets a little wonky, kind of glitchy.
They're
Like,
super
if you-
inaccurate.
No, yeah.
Well,
You know,
it depends.
They
because
could be, but
if
if you
go-
die, it could fuck up your connection to the AI,
if-
and that's rough.
the last time I did that, I had like 6 different mortar pits with 6 different AI assigned to it, and I just went straight to military hospital. And when I was at military hospital, I was just looking through my binocs, and I was just telling them what areas to mortar using
Oh
the
god,
binoculars.
I
They
probably
were
shouldn't
really
say
accurate.
this, but you can actually order them with the map, right?
Yeah, I know, but I want to see. The
Yeah,
thing
but
is that I
the
want to
map
see.
isn't as accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the map's not accurate. When you use your binoculars and you go and you're the spotter for them, they're way more accurate because then you can not only drop mortars in that location, but if you need to shift to a different location where like, okay, everybody started moving this way, so now I'm gonna go ahead and start, suppressing this area with mortars because,
Yeah, it's
obviously
way
everybody
easier to
left.
shift fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand where y'all come from on it, but personally, if I'm getting a mortar, I'm using that motherfucker myself, and I really enjoy using the mortars.
No,
And it seems like cheating when people use the AI.
Some
I wish we
asshole,
could-
I don't know if he was a random or in the regiment yesterday, kept mortaring fucking Adler Hill. And at first it was an
Oh,
illumination
yeah, it was,
flares, and then it was smokes, and then he started actually
Joan of
fucking
Arc.
mortaring us.
Joan
Yeah,
of Arc during that
and then
Grandmaster, yeah.
I
It was
RPG'd his
random.
fucking mortar, and then he grabbed new AI and had him suppress the fucking hill.
Did we ban him or not? I can't
Combat. You said it was who?
John of Arc.
John of Arc. Oh, I thought you said
Fucking
Lark, and I
asshole.
would have been like, if that was
That
Lark,
Regiment?
that would have been really funny, because that's
No,
not
he's a
expected
random.
from him.
Something
He
I
was
wish that you
Regiment?
could do is I wish the AI could be loaders for you, just dedicated loaders.
See,
Oh,
that
yeah.
I would like.
That works, yeah. No,
That'd be nice.
um,
Anyway.
What's our
we-
next
we-
topic, War Daddy?
Oh,
I think we said-
UAV, you wanna go ahead and share your input that we I don't think we got to you.
Oh, for PvPs.
Yeah.
Well, I think what I have written down here is I kind of wanted to go over a couple some stories. You know, I'm sure all four of us have been a part of these. Oh, sorry, all five of us. I think, and we probably have some quick individual little little snippets of stories that I feel like we should share real quick.
I can
think
share
already.
one.
Yeah.
I got one. I got one
All
of
right,
mine.
you start, Warlord.
All right,
About
so
what now? Sorry,
I'll
I
start.
think I'm missing some
So
context.
PvP stories.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so I'm just gonna share a quick story of how the
I'm sorry,
first
PP stories?
or PP
I got a
stories.
few of those.
No,
Oh.
going to the
I
bathroom
love
first.
PvP stories.
So remember that last actually it was the first second PvP we did against Rome Platoon. And I remember that Kenny, knocked it out the park with that one going going east actually, all the way to Coast Base Chotane. And then we also had
Yeah.
we also had uh, r- um, we also had Death of Liberty going northwest, and they were pretty much holding them down there as well. While Lux was actually going south and taking the southern objectives like base Levy, and then they were also taking St. Pierre as well. So everybody did pretty well. So one of the things that I did was after a little while, and I actually had issues with my internet for about half an hour of that game, unfortunately. But when I came back, I think it was Esso, or I'm not sure if it was Kenny, who spawned a command truck for me. So I took the command truck all the way up to Entredu, since we had actually spawned south of Lamenton or somewhere around Oldwood. But yeah, it was in between
I remember this.
Lemuel. Yeah, it was between Lemuel and Oldwood. I remember we had spawned in between south of
I'll add
Sawmill.
on to this story when you're done.
Sure. So then what I did is I went ahead and I took the command truck. I moved it all the way up to south of Entredu, and I went ahead and added, took the supplies out, deployed the command truck, and I think we had about maybe 15, 20 regiment in that game. But there was also kind of randoms jumping in along the way. So I had noticed as I was moving up to Entredu, there was a couple of vehicles coming out of Entredu, and then there was also a helicopter that was landing there. So I noticed it was an MI8 because we were playing the US that time, and then there was also the Russians on the other side. So there was an MI8 landing on Entredu, and there was no AI. They hadn't put AI yet. So one of the things that I did is I noticed a helicopter. I was going to try to shoot it down before it got to the ground, but when you're using a law launcher, it could be a hit or a miss with that fucking thing. But anyway, so moved up south of the tower, and they had actually landed the helicopter right next to Entree on the open field. You guys know where that is. I believe that's east of Entree, just next to the command post. And I had moved up north of that area, and I was closely monitoring the helicopter. So I took my binocs out, and I was looking at the helicopter, and I said, I noticed that there was nobody in the helicopter or nobody near the helicopter, which obviously told me that they were already um, in the base. And then I heard them start putting down AI. I heard them start kind of building stuff around, and so I thought about it, and I said, okay, and I was like, okay, so if I put on the chat that there's a helicopter at Entredu, then that's gonna spook them, and they're probably gonna run back to the helicopter and try to escape. So I went ahead and I put on the chat that there is a helicopter in Entredu, kind of letting everybody know. But I put it on global chat as if I had made the mistake of you know, putting that on global chat, right? So I'm sitting there and it's like 2 minutes pass by and they're still not towards the helicopter. And then I finally see somebody like kind of start peeking out and moving, moving around and try to move towards the helicopter very cautiously. They weren't running to it. They were kind of like, crouching towards it, just in case somebody was watching them. So, they were already walking up to it. And then I saw one guy jump in, start the helicopter. And then a couple of seconds later, second guy comes around, kind of cautious, looking around. And then I see the third guy start moving into it. And I think that was everybody that was in the helicopter. And then as soon as the helicopter was starting to kind of take off the ground, and I'm pretty sure they felt a sign of relief as soon as that helicopter was, rising from the ground.
Evil.
Yep. That's when I launched that lol. I just completely lobbed them out of the fucking air. Um, and they caught on fire and they all died, right?
So
So
that reminds me a lot. Sorry if you weren't done.
no, I'm not done yet. So
Okay, okay.
that happened. As that happened, the helicopter just kind of crashes backwards, hits the trees, and blows up. So then I start going into the base, into Entredu, and I'm like a fucking commando at that point. So I'm just like crawling right next to there's like the little um,
Were you
stone.
weren't you calling for our support like the entire time you were at Entree? Because you were solo.
Yeah, I was solo that whole time, but I should have streamed it. I was gonna record it. Totally forgot, but like I was next. There's like that stone walls, and there's like those rock made out of rocks all over Entree, like all over the base. So
Yeah.
I was literally crawling in the bushes next to them, in the middle of the base. So I'm just like moving, crawling through the bushes, and then I see them come out again. There's three of them once again, and they're like they're walking up to the light vehicle depot, and they basically start spawning a van. They spawn a van, and then all of them are kind of getting together, trying to figure like. And then I noticed based on the chat that it was the leader of the other Discord was there too. Like he was the one that was on the helicopter, and then him and two other guys that were following him were with him in the middle of the base. So then, so then I'm thinking, okay, so if I use my machine gun or if I use my M16, I'm gonna be using burst and single shots, and that's not really gonna help me because I'm gonna get exposed right away. And if they're good, they're just gonna go ahead and turn around and start shooting my direction. So then what I did is that I remember I had packed up a bunch of grenades, and I
You were
started just
very grenade savvy.
yeah. So I just started launching grenades, like just start throwing grenades at them, and then you start like first grenade goes off, and then they start kind of dispersing, but they've obviously been already hit with sharp metal. Fuck, what's it called again?
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel. And so I just keep throwing grenades at them, and I managed to kill all three of them again with just grenades. Then, as soon as that happens, I think one of them spawns or another one spawns, and then I hear them coming out of the command because they had already added living quarters. So then I hear them again, and they start coming out of the living quarters once again. And so I start mowing them down as they're coming out of the living quarters. And at the same time, I look to my right into the tree lines west of Ventredu, just right next to it, and I start seeing like, three randoms just kind of show up, but they were the ones that were spawning on the command truck. So randoms start showing up, we start capping the base, and then we're basically engaging these guys. They start spawning out of nowhere. I don't even know how they were spawning. Probably had a radio, but then the randoms and those guys were engaging each other, and then I go get the tower back, which cuts them off of the entire, southern part of the map. And then on top of that, um, I just start hanging out at the base and just holding it. There's like helicopters. I don't know how. I don't remember. I don't know if you remember, Kenny, but they already had helicopters. I think I was calling out on the radio that they
Yeah.
already had gunships, Russian gunships, just start shooting tons of missiles um, into
My
Entree.
story kind of coincides with this, like while all this
Yeah, I
is
remember
happening.
I have
were-
a story
you were on the
involving a
way.
helicopter and Entree that I don't want to tell, but
Yeah. So just
All
to
right, ladies,
conclude-
calm down. Let
just-
Warlord say his spiel.
just
I
to
know we all want to
conclude,
jerk each other off. Calm down.
We love
Just-
all your stories.
just to conclude, at the end, like we won the game, right? At the end, the Dino guy, his name is Dino or something like that, leader of the other Discord, and we get on a call, and I start going over like, "Hey, were you at Entree?" And he didn't want to say anything because I think he it's like why else would I be asking that if I was the one kind of just shitting on their parade the whole time at Entree? So he was like yeah, why? I'm like, oh, I was the one that was, I was the one who shot down the helicopter, and I was the one who was throwing grenades at you, blah blah blah. And he didn't say anything.
I
He
was
didn't
the
say a
one who
fucking word.
ruined your day.
He didn't say anything, dude. He didn't reply. He was just kind of quiet, just like this
You
motherfucker.
Go
But
regiment type shit.
yeah, that's my story.
So, while, like, when you first probably before you approached tower, we had Last Resort had cleaned up the middle of the map to what I thought was like this is a solid foundation, and I looked at the west and the east, and I saw Lux was still struggling at base levy, and so I said, okay, Chotain's up for grabs. I'm gonna push east. And I went down to Simon's Wood, and you were like, go take Monty, go take Monty. I was like, no. And then we took Simon's Wood, and then I noticed that they had Town Chotain, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, they're going to push Levy hard. And so we took Town Chotain, and for some fucking reason, they took Town Chotain, but not Coastal Chotain.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know why the fuck they did that. So at this point, Warlord has requested support like 3 different times, like once we're leaving Town Chotain. And I was like, let's go grab Coastal Chotain real quick, and then we'll go support Warlord. And then while we're grabbing Coastal Chotain, you had the randoms had come and help you out, and you were already good. But we was on the way. It was just gonna take us a minute. We was on the way though. No, but
y'all did good.
Yeah. And I don't remember if we went Entree speaking or not, but did we win the game with that? With Chotain?
Yeah, we
Okay.
did. We won the
Yeah.
game because of Coastal Base Shotainen, and I don't remember if it was you who was telling me that you wanted to go up to Andre's Beacon, or I think I was like, no, come straight to Entree.
That's probably what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think Lux was heading back up north. Remember, Lux was going to Coastal Base Chotain,
Probably.
and then from there, Andres, but y'all still did good going. You and your team actually.
Yeah,
did
we
very
were
good job.
tasked to go center, and we were supposed to go to Monty, but I saw Lux was struggling, and so I made the conscientious, however you say that word, decision to fucking move east, and we won the game the quickest that we had ever won a PvP, and that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that PvP went so fast. I literally have nothing of note to say. Like
that
like,
last one against Rome.
dude, I literally have no fucking clue, dude. Like
I think it's the
we
one
was just
before
such
last.
a route.
Yeah, the one.
I
that-
missed the last one.
Yeah.
The last one was the only one I've been in, so I don't really have much to say about any PvPs.
Yeah, I was on vacation.
Dude, that one PvP with the fucking mountainside, bro. That was a nightmare, dude. Literally, it was like
Against-
fighting the actual Vietnamese.
That was bullshit,
Against
man.
Beardos. Yeah.
No, dude,
I feel like that was some bullshit, dude.
Yeah.
So normally I'm not. You guys know I'm not one to super complain when I'm completely outmatched. I'll let out a yelp and like go like fuck this bullshit, blah 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 blah. But it's realistic, it's not.
I
like,
laugh when you go off.
Ah, dude.
No, yeah,
You know how it is
It's
though. You know how it
hilarious,
is though, because it's not unwarranted.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I know in that
something
last
completely
PvP,
warranted.
you were legitimately just complaining that they were better than you.
Dude, yeah, I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, they're literally just better. Like, there's nothing. Yeah, there was
Oh,
nothing.
that
I could
was
do.
the
They had
hospital, right?
small
Just better.
numbers, and they were just
Yeah.
hiding in bushes, waiting for our massive squads to approach them. And I don't know.
That was when Jeb was up north.
Yeah, I was
They
him-
in
won
that
by
one.
a scalpel.
Yeah, I think you guys were
We're up
fighting
at
for a
Hike
hospital.
Hospital, and we're
Yeah.
basically pushing back and forth between Hospital, Tyrone, and Gravette, just kind of back and forth, up and down the whole time.
My God, it was so annoying.
So I mean that's the only PvP I've been in. So as far as
I-
my PvP stories, I don't have much.
I thought
But,
you'd been in more.
I want to
No,
push that
the actual
mountain wall
Discord
to the back of
PvP.
my
That's
head and
all I've
forget
really
about it.
been in.
What?
But
what I do,
I
wanna
do
do-
have a funny story that Warlord
Okay,
reminded
yeah,
me
go
of from the from just a conflict game that I played with everyone. And I was solo at Entree, and there we were playing Russian, and there was these two Americans. I guess they were they were buddies, talking to each other in a squad, and um, they came into Entree, and I killed them both, and I took their radios, and so I had their squad channel, and I was listening, and they responded like, "Yeah, that bastard, he killed us, blah blah, whatever. Let's get in the helicopter and we'll go back." I'm like, "Oh, this is
Let's
too
get
good. This
him."
is too good." I grabbed an RPG and I waited. And I waited, and they said on the radio, we'll take the tower first, and then move into the objective." I'm like, "All right, bet. Go to the tower. I'm just waiting." Soon enough, Huey comes flying in. Wait for it to get right near the ground, and then I blast the motherfucker right before it lands, right as it's sitting still for me. And I killed him. I waited a little while. They got back on the radio. He got us again. I just complaining, and then like, all right, I'll drop you right outside, and then like I'll fly around so you can see hear where he's at. Like when I start shooting at him, they could hear my location. Whatever they're trying to use a little strategy. I was a little proud of them. Well, so then, I waited. They dropped the guy off, and then the helicopter started flying around. I knew about where they dropped him off. I took a few little shots up at the helicopter, and then I fucking ran off and took cover watching the position where I took shot from. And sure enough, his buddy comes walking up, sneaking around, looking, trying to see where I was shooting from. I took his ass out, and then I blew up the helicopter again. it was just that for a while. I was just listening to their
Just did
conversation. They
melee
kept coming
things the
back.
whole time.
It was so much fun.
Dude, that sounds absolutely
Yeah.
awful to be on the receiving end of. I would have been so sad,
That's the type of like.
They never
BTA
considered the fact that I was just listening to him the whole time.
which is hilarious, bro. I couldn't
There
imagine.
was so much communication, but I had every bit of it.
That's so crazy, bro.
Probably I have kind of I think I have two, I guess. I think one of my stories, it was it was against whatever team we played last that like Kruger Vapor setup. I can't remember what it was, who we played against. It was the one where like Lux was very disorganized the entire time, and it was just I don't know what was going on because I thought we had. I just wanted to real quick. I just kind of want to deviate. Lux already was moving first. We had just kind of put Jabber in front, and we already had a group like moving within the BTR. And I guess old school just didn't know what was going on because no one clarified to them. So, but anyway, back to the actual thing. So it was in that thing, in that PvP battle. I had a BTR, and it was like pitch black. So I'm driving with the lights on because I can't see because I don't have like the settings on my monitor or my console to mess with that. So, it's on that road right outside of Tillers, and I was driving up the hill, so I'm moving pretty slow. And then I just see the headlights of the Humvee behind me. So I just kick it back in reverse, and I go full speed down right at the guy. Somehow don't explode my thing, but explode his and walk off completely unscathed. It's kind of funny because I heard him like raging on the on his comms on the radio because I was listening into their comms the whole time. And it was pretty funny. And then my other favorite moment was when we were doing one against the Rome platoon where it was like Lux holding up the north, and me and Jeb were just sitting there getting shelled for probably
That was a rough time.
It was. It was
It was a
awful.
rough day.
I don't know what was going on in the South. It was just like we were just holding it, and there was nothing we could really do besides just wait there for the game to end.
Dude, that whole time we just sat there and just defended. I mean, we would spawn, kill like 4 or 5 dudes, die, and then rinse repeat for like an hour and a half, dude. It was awful, bro. Because we were sitting there and they had mortars on us. Like they had mortars on us, they had helicopters on us. There was no brakes like in their pushing because they had radios fucking everywhere. Like it was really, really rough. And we when we finally got actually overwhelmed, when I had started asking for reinforcements, y'all were like, "We're gonna win the game over here," and I'm like, "Well, we're gonna lose the game if we don't get the support over here." So we just had to hold on a little longer, and y'all won the game for us over there.
So Jeff, something that I tried to incorporate into this game master I ran last night, but my defense mission didn't work out. I had showed it to Warlord like the day before. And I'm sure you how to triangulate a mortar position, like using your compass and drawing lines on the map and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that doing that, marking it on the map, and then if y'all had a helicopter in the air, that could have maybe helped y'all a lot. Just listening, find out where it's at, and then tell Soul or someone to go strike that location. You just mark it on the map for them.
So the problem with that is when it's constantly firing and it's accurate and they have shift fires happening that are accurate, it's kind of hard to pull your map out long enough to not have some dude up in your face with a gun. So it's it wasn't like they were like shooting at us from the ridgeline. They were shooting at us from the ridgeline and in the base and getting mortared. So it was like this clusterfuck of just like, fuck you, good luck type deal. So
I remember spawning there. I think at the end when the countdown was already happening. I think like you guys were pushing back into the hospital. There's like helicopters like scattered, like there's like bodies everywhere. There's like fucking
every single
destroyed.
wall was blown up. There was like 6 exploded vehicles. We'd shot down multiple helicopters. Like it was ridiculous, dude.
Where was this again?
The fucking military hospital, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just kind of your standard Milhouse setup.
Yeah.
And they were just up there on the hill like the whole time. Like you could see the tracers, but you couldn't see where they were, and it was terrifying.
The Vietnamese fucking attacking.
They've got a couple of good guys. I'm not gonna lie. They've got a couple of guys that will put in the work, and they're
Rome Patrol.
Rome Patrol. What is it? Paw Patrol or whatever.
Paw Patrol.
They've got a couple of guys in there, and I think just like with us, right? Like we've got a small number of guys, or a low margin, probably might get like 80% of the kills. And I think that goes for everything. I think that kind of goes along with like everything. In different fields, whether you're talking about like real stuff or you're talking about like game stuff, right? Because in the regiment, I think we've 10% of the players or 10% of our base players will get 80% of the kills in a game. Because just take for example some of the guys that end up posting some of those numbers on there, and they're like, oh, I got 50 kills, I got 70 kills, I got 90 kills. Some people going over 100. Yeah, and then but everybody's got a role to play. Everybody's got to contribute, especially when we're talking about PvP games. That's why it's good to have a roster, and that's why it's good to be organized, and that's why it's good to stick with your squad and obviously follow orders and do things. Follow through with those orders until the end. If
I actually just got the achievement the other day. Kill 10 players in a single conflict match, which I was like, 10 eliminations isn't very much.
Damn.
But then I thought about it. It doesn't say eliminate, because like I've gotten more than 10 kills
without
before.
dying,
it
right?
says player. No, it's not without dying. It's kill 10 players. So
right.
AI doesn't count. So, and I was doing a lot of airstrikes that match. So, and I know that match actually was one. It was really fucking cool. I watched a little Ural try to leave their main base, and I fucking blew that fucker to smithereens. And they were just scattering like ants running everywhere, and I killed a lot of them with that airstrike.
Those are always my favorite things to
on
see.
good
Killing a
days.
moving vehicle with a helicopter is like orgasmic. That's a good feeling.
Oh
Yeah, not just that, dude, but just being just like absolutely fucking shit up with a helicopter, I think is one of the most satisfying fucking things.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just like over and over again, you see like, you know, the RPG hits and all that shit. It's like yeah, like that's cool and everything, you know, being really good with an RPG is cool, shooting helicopters and vehicles, but when you can consistently hit rockets on target and get kills and then watch the rest
So,
scatter and fear, it's
Jeff,
the
have you
best
tried the
fucking
air?
thing.
Have you guys tried the air support mode in
The experimental.
the experimental?
No,
I
haven't.
have seen it.
much
I haven't
fucking
looked at it yet.
fun.
I actually
is
It's
it?
did
actually
mean
so
to go
much
in.
fun. You can go like support friendly units on ground, and like they're getting attacked by like ground units or BTRs. And there's sometimes like a command truck you have to destroy in this large area, or a mortar system you have to take out. There's bases you have to destroy.
So is it
Supplies you have to
different every
deliver.
time?
Yes, and
Oh,
it's so
I'm gonna have
fucking
to do
cool.
that.
It's awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
dude, I'm gonna have to load up the experimental, dude.
And the campaign is actually so much fucking fun. Have y'all heard
That's
about the
sick, dude.
campaign?
No,
I've seen
I've
it.
not.
Wait, so where's
It's
that
so
air
fun,
conflict?
dude.
Where's where that air support
It's just
mission?
air
Is that on the new
support.
map or is that on the
It's
old
on
map?
experimental Evron.
So the
Okay,
thing I
Emma.
can't even access.
Yeah, only Xbox
That
and
sucks.
PC can play.
That's rough.
It
Hopefully
really
the update
does.
comes soon.
But you have PC.
Do we know?
Combat.
Yeah, I'm on PC.
Yeah, so you can play that.
I could. I just
UAV
haven't
said
got
he
to. Right now, I'm
couldn't.
playing my autistic dinosaur game.
Yeah.
UAV's PlayStation, right?
No, yeah, I'm PlayStation, so that's kind of why it took me a minute to buy Arma, because I was interested in like Arma style games for a hot minute, and then I just couldn't find anything like it really that sounded enjoyable.
Dude, I
And
was
then found
surprised
out
they even
came
brought
on
it to
PlayStation.
Xbox.
Well, the reason they made Arma Reforger is because they wanted to test out like the engine.
Yeah, it's
Before they
basically
came out
with
a
Arma
4.
paid tech demo for Arma 4. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
and so we so they wanted to include console because of how big it was on like PC. So I mean, they incorporated with Xbox and then they did it with PlayStation.
I'm glad they did, man.
Oh yeah, it's fun. I think a lot more
Yeah.
majority of our fan
I
base
wish
players are
Sony would quit being fucking assholes so that we could.
Yeah,
Dude,
they always
Xbox is
fucking do
being
stupid
dicks
ass
They
right
shit,
ruined.
now.
bro.
They ruined VoIP and Arma Reforger. Honestly,
Not only that, dude, Xbox also fucking upped fucking Ultimate.
$30.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I
They
have
upped it
the
by
normal.
50%.
Yeah, I have a I literally got rid of my Ultimate subscription.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
when they upped it to
I'm probably
$18
going to.
instead of $14, dude, I
I
was
was-
like, fuck that.
I
They
thought it
did a
was
$4
$19.99.
increase. No, they did. I had it. Mine for a really long time was $13.99,
Yeah.
and then I looked at
Mine
my
was
my
$14.99.
thing. Yeah, and I looked at my thing a while ago, and it was like $18.99. And I was like,
That's
what
crazy.
the fuck?
Dude,
Yeah,
I
I
was like, wait,
switched mine
what?
too.
So they increased it at $18.99. I was like, bullshit. So I canceled it immediately because I didn't get any notifications. I didn't get a text. I didn't get an email. I didn't get
The
anything.
fucked up thing is when
They
they
just
increased the
increased my
price by
price.
50 fucking percent, they literally fucking like they were showing like benefits, which like there's not really any
Same
new
crap.
fucking benefits.
Yeah.
And they literally didn't say shit about the price.
Yeah,
They
it's like,
were
guess what
fucking
I'm gonna
hiding
do?
that.
I'm gonna not do that, and I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
buy the
As
thing where
soon-
I can play online. Like, fuck
As
that.
soon as I saw the like benefits video, I was like, yeah, they definitely just bumped the fucking price.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like, oh look, it's worth this. No, it's fucking not, bitch. Now that it's $30 a month, it's cheaper
That's
to not
insane.
do that and just buy the game. Now it's
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
cheaper to buy the game.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, I mean, from my perspective, because I've been on PlayStation my whole life, except for my 2-year stint as a kid when I played the Wii.
You poor soul.
Listen, the
I
Wii
think
is like
Game
one of the
Pass
best
should-
consoles ever.
No, not the Wii, the PlayStation, dog. The Wii is goated.
I mean,
I think Game Pass should
Bro,
implement something where
with PlayStation,
like,
at least, I mean, when I started playing PlayStation, I only had to have Minecraft, really, and then Fortnite, and then those didn't require PlayStation Plus. and because I didn't really play online with people. And when I started getting into the gaming scene, like with online, I was just like, okay, I can just I'll just pay the $60 a year, and I won't get I'll just purchase games if I want them because they do have like a thing like that, but it's like really expensive and it's a yearly purchase kind of thing.
Yeah, I loved Xbox Live when it was only $120 a year and I could pay it flat out instead of having to do this monthly bullshit. I was so happy about that, dude. I love
Dude, I
that.
think
I paid for
That's why I
gold
like being
and
on
platinum.
PlayStation or on computer because I don't pay jack shit except
Yeah,
my
you don't
Wi-Fi
have
bill.
any
Bullshit.
subscriptions. There's no
Sucks what
subscriptions.
you have to.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but I guess
That being said, I also paid $2,000 for my computer, so y'all definitely win on the console
Fair enough.
prices and shit.
Bullshit, dude. You know how much money I've spent on Game Pass?
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean,
And buying
$2,000,
games.
$2,000 for my computer plus upgrading parts occasionally. Like,
Dude,
well,
who the fuck is
over a
this,
few
dude?
years and shit.
Somebody added me on fucking Insta, and I think it's UAB, but I can't fucking tell.
I
Yeah,
feel like
okay, this is-
Xbox like should implement something where if you've got Ultimate for all the time that you've had, like every years that you've had, like each year you should be able to choose a game that you can get for free on Game Pass for like every year
Don't
that
you
you've had
already get all
Ultimate.
games on Game Pass? I thought that was the whole point.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like fucking permanently. Like
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
like
lose
actually
Game
own.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
That would be something. That would be an improvement to the fucked up situation they're bringing about. But
Yeah. So what else is next, UAV?
real quickly, I have to ask Jev. Jev, was that the account you were talking about?
Does he look like Bob Myskrams?
He's not talking anymore. Okay, so I'll move on. Let's move on to topic 2. And I was gonna do a good transition point, but we just kept talking and it got out of hand. So I guess topic 2 here I have listed is the game masters. So we have Combat here, who is,
I do a lot of games.
who's
Master
the
of the
game
days.
master guy. Who's a game master guy? Kenny.
That's honestly my favorite part of the
Kenny,
regiment.
you're making one, right?
yeah, and I did Outpost Resort. It was the only one that I did before. And I've got real big ambitions with Game Master, and that's a problem because like
Yeah.
you can't do that shit.
No.
Because that's what happened last night. I imagine is like you placed too much shit and it was just
Yeah, with
unplayable.
the one that I wanted to do last night, I had probably fucking hundreds of objects placed.
Yeah,
There's
and, like, you
walls,
wanna
barbed
do
wire,
that.
and decorations and all that. And I think that was part of the problem. Jeff said when he looked at like the server like messages or whatever, like failure reports, whatever, is that apparently it was sending everything like just out into one spot in the corner of the ocean or some shit. And there was also apparently some modded items that I don't know what I placed down that was modded, something that's not really there or some shit. I guess I don't know. I think the file's just corrupted.
accidentally fucked himself.
Yeah, I'll try to fix that one. See if I can't get it to launch at some point, and we'll do that mission. But I mean, it didn't turn out too bad because we got to play POW Escape again, which I've been
Yeah, the
wanting to do for a
POW
while.
escape
I
was
don't-
really good. It was
I don't
so
mind
good. I was
POW,
telling my
but-
other friends about it, and they were all like, "Oh, dude, I want to do that."
Dude,
And I was like,
I
"Download Arma, you dumb
honestly
bitch."
just want to become a game
I
designer
don't
just
think
to
we should
make
do
a
that for,
separate
like,
game called like
Game Master days.
Seer
I feel like
Expert or some shit.
POW stuff should happen on a different day. Like
I'd
it's
be down
fun.
for that. I
don't
mean,
mind
'cause
it, but
You know, I get pretty much every day of the week off with my job. It's just I only get 2 of every day off a month because like I'll work a rotating schedule.
Honestly, dude,
Damn.
we should do it Thursday night and Sunday night, and then whoever shows up shows up. You know, but we have to do it early Sunday night. So
We
that
just have to
everybody
make
fucking
sure
shows
to
up.
advertise and push for it a lot because you know the more people you can have in a POW mission, the better the mission will be.
I
That-
like
that
the
is-
thought
you
of
have- there is no
Sunday
max.
night.
Like if we could get 100 people in that, 100 people would be a fucking. We could have like 5 or 6, you know, POWs.
That would
running
be
from
so
everyone
fucking
else.
funny, bro.
If you had 100 people, dude, you could have like fucking 20 POWs.
Yeah, right.
Dude, that would be so funny. And then people just get caught, fucking die over and over again. Dude, that'd be so
You
fucking
need like
funny,
3
bro.
helicopters.
Imagine how
to extract
hard
people.
that's gonna be to. That would be to.
That'd be cool. You could have like 3
Organize
extraction zones.
No,
Yeah,
just one
multiple
extraction
zones.
zone, bro.
I
Just
would need
one,
help. I would
dude.
need help organizing because like with that many, if we had that many fucking POWs, that we would have to like they would be dying and then just try to like run out and act like they never died from the camp.
Yeah, the main thing I think would be making sure that the Russians stop fucking killing each other.
I think
Oh my
because
god, I was
because then
getting
you
so
wouldn't be able to
pissed
see the
off.
kill feed.
I was
Because then
getting
you
so pissed off when there was just so
Dude,
much
that's
team
why I
killing.
fucking kicked that motherfucker, and then I kicked that one dude, banned that other dude. I was
I
gonna
banned the
fucking kick
squeaker.
Val, bro. I was gonna kick Val from the game.
Dude, Val was getting on my fucking nerves. I sent
He
him a
played.
message and it auto deleted, but
What's?
he
Oh,
needs
he
to
fucking
quit
blocked you,
fucking
bro.
around. No, I added him, sent a message, and it like deleted, I guess.
Yeah,
But
he blocked you. That's what he
no,
blocked
he
you.
added me back.
Oh, okay. And then
Oh
he
my
deleted
gosh.
the message.
I don't know.
So
Anyway,
I
but
basically told him fuck around and find
dude,
out. Like,
he played today, and he was doing great. He played like just normal shit, and it was awesome. I loved it. He was doing great. He was working really well with everybody, but I just hope he doesn't turn into another fucking fucking situation. That
well,
would be
there,
really annoying.
we've discussed this several times, but there's a time and a place for like team killing and fuckery, and not only there's a time and a place, but there's people to do it too. You know,
Yeah, like
like
not
some people are
everybody's
cool with
down to
it.
get shot in the mouth.
A lot of people fucking do not like it.
Yeah. I
I do
want
it.
so bad to just have us in a squad one day. I thought about this the other day and made myself laugh just for like Jev, like me, you, BTB, and whoever else in the squad. And just if y'all are talking about some fuck shit, I'm be like, we can't talk about this in front of the ladies, and then just shoot her in the head. All right, y'all go ahead.
You know what's really funny about that is that she's listening right now. So she's about to hear that in about 10 seconds. And then she's going to be like,
Hey,
oh,
BTB.
Probably my favorite moment of like a training or game master we've done is probably when we did the logistics training. I didn't really know what to do. Well, I do know what to do because I do logistics all the time. But
I
I
don't know why
was
we had so
sitting in
many
a
people show up
truck
for that
with
too.
Jev and BTB, and I was just listening to the great conversation those two were having.
Yeah,
Argue.
yeah, I remember.
Arguing all the time.
That was,
Y'all
an
join my
interesting
damn
time.
in that last
BTB, what
POW
the
mission.
fuck?
Only lady.
She's complaining.
What the
She's complaining
fuck?
now, by the
That's
way.
so sexist.
She
That's
says
the
you're
point.
sexist.
That's the, yeah. I
Y'all
know.
joined my squad in that last POW
I
thing,
just wanted to
and I
know.
just I almost left the squad. I couldn't think, man.
Fucking
Just
bitch.
kept talking.
No, yeah. Well, I feel like well, I do want to ask some I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the game masters we've done. So, obviously, we did the defense one, and we were planning on doing one
Dickhead.
yesterday, but that didn't end up working
Great
out.
conversation.
I wanted to know what your guys' opinions were of like the defense style game masters, and just kind of what you think to
So
improve. I know you, Kenny,
I'd
voiced
love to
about.
start. Yeah.
I know you voiced that it was boring being on the flanks.
Well, I've got a particular opinion because the only game master mission I've done was Outpost Resort, which was a defense mission. But we also had a secondary objective to allow a team to go and attack a target on a secondary island. And the environment where we did the defense mission was just fucking prime. It was superb. It was just land, and like there was a few like ruins and bunkers and stuff, but I made a really cool layout and like developed the mission really fucking well. Like there was like a bunch of cool shit. It took a lot of time and effort to make that.
So
And the mission didn't really go as planned because like I wanted to give people sectors. Last second decision was just let let the players discern what to do and stuff like that. And I should have made it more organized. I should have given y'all orders on what to do because y'all didn't utilize the bunkers or anything. This happened like probably like fucking 8 months ago or something, but y'all didn't use the bunkers or anything, and like attack fronts were coming from like the water, which was really cool. Like the BTRs were like driving from like makeshift barges that I made, and I thought that shit was fucking awesome.
So
But
Kenny, you might like if I had been able to do mine last night, the defense one, I actually planned something very similar to that for you specifically in your team, which I know I've told you a little about. What my plan was going to be, like I said, y'all were going to be the QRF. I was going to fire mortars in. If y'all heard mortar locations, I wanted y'all to like triangulate and like go fucking hunt the mortar down, take it out, come back. But also, I was going to have a mission for y'all where there was a civilian informant who you were going to have to go and recover, and you probably run into a little ambush, whatever. Go get the informant, bring him back, let him talk to Warlord, and then he would give you a position of the militants, like their main objective where their leader was, since the whole mission's about them trying to assassinate Warlord. I would let you and your guys, probably a few others, while everyone else, this whole time through all this, everyone else is defending the base against and checking people in and out through the checkpoints. Last resort would go out and assassinate the militant insurgent leadership, and then that would be how y'all won the game. That was my
That'd be
plan
cool.
of how it was going to run.
My main point with what I was saying is like, my mission had a cool location. UAV, I'm just gonna be honest, military training site, like where we do trainings. I think that was a horrible location. I'm not gonna
That
lie
was
to
on
you.
me. I chose that
It
location
was
for him.
low-key, I thought that was a horrible location for that type of mission. For a defense mission, I was not a fan, because we literally were just defending the main checkpoint gate, and then last resort was on the wall, and we got like 3 or 4 squads of enemies that entire game.
What
And
would you
like
think
we
about
were
Lamenting?
utilizing like enemy tanks and all this cool shit, and we like, I don't know, like I don't know. We didn't last resort got to experience none of that, and I feel like we could have had more development with the mission itself. But I love the idea for defense missions. It's just really hard to make them right. And
I'm
like
gonna jump in UAV's defense real quick because that was, I think, his first ever game master, right?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
mine didn't
Yeah.
go the way I wanted it to, and
First
I
one's
fucking
always
spent
kind
days
of a.
developing
Hurt my
it.
feelings, Kenny.
You always throw the first
I'm
one away. It's how
sorry.
you learn things and
Hold on,
you
hold on.
work things
We're
out.
I
speaking
agree.
we're speaking on Game Masters. I've got this funny ass clip from a
Oh,
while
God.
ago.
SO got a funny ass clip last night. How about "Don't Worry, I'm Great"?
This shit is the most cinematic I have ever seen. Like, dude, it's so good. I love it
talking
so
about
much.
the
Here, I'm
monkey
gonna
flip
share
one?
it. I'm gonna share it on the main channel real quick.
You're talking about the monkey flip one, right?
No. This
I'm
is
talking about the
this
monkey
the
flip.
monkey flip is pretty funny.
I saw that and I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, monkey flip is a goated ass meme. Hold on, let me. Oh wait, dude. Oh, is it gonna make me split it in between fucking 3 shit fucks? Oh god.
I want to
Better
redo
fucking
Outpost
not.
Resort someday, and UAV country. If y'all want to be involved with that, that'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
We could make
I
it better.
wanna.
The biggest problem I had with it was making it not lag with all the entities that I had, and I had to get rid of a lot of stuff, but I still made it work. But yeah,
I'm gonna put it
we
in
can
memes
discuss
and
that
misc.
another time.
I want
I
to,
See
in
if it'll
some
work.
sense, not as a campaign, but just as a standalone, redo the Operation Steel Insurgency that I did
Yeah,
because
I
I
I
think
want to do
everyone enjoyed that one.
Outpost
That
Resort.
one was so much fun.
I want to do it on Dead
Oh,
Evron
I
and
did it.
include Facility 12 that's right across the river. I think that'd be fucking awesome. That big ass walled compound. That'd be cool.
If we
All right,
redo the
check out that
Insurgency, then
clip.
I
Check
get
out
to
the
blow
clip I
Kenny
just
up some
sent
more.
to the memes and misc channel, bro. It's the most cinematic fucking ambush fucking ever, bro. Esso and somebody else were in that fucking thing. Esso and I think J-Wave? Jacob. Esso, Cirrus, and Jacob were in that
You
fucking
said
thing.
memes and misc is where you posted
Yeah,
it?
memes and misc. And it's a fucking ambush on the island. There's fucking mines on this road, dude, and y'all are pushing across this field, and the fucking LAV gets blasted, and y'all are all getting fucking suppressed by a sniper and shot at by a machine gun, and y'all make it to this house, and you're just getting absolutely suppressed by like 10 different dudes. And this is just the first part of the clip. I couldn't send anything else because fucking
I
Discord.
I have a clip that Warlord recorded from that Operation Steel and Surge. See this one? It's 5 minutes. I'll see if it lets me post it. No, it's too long.
No, it won't.
Part of Warlord's stream, that first ambush. I think you were in, Jeb. You were in Warlord's gunner seat where y'all ran into the decoy IED I set on the bridge and started taking sniper fire. I fucking still love how y'all handled it, where you set up the 360 security and staggered the Humvees to set up armored like.
Dude, I was so
the
pissed
defensive
off during that whole
position.
scenario too, dude. I was just like,
But it looked
you get
so-
over there. I was like, you get over there, you get over there. Fuck you. You stay in the fucking gun. Don't get out of the
It
gun.
looked so fucking cool. Like y'all had like 4 snipers firing on y'all from multiple positions, and y'all were popping smoke, setting up defense, and just laying down 360 security. It looked fucking amazing. And like I wanted to let y'all kill me faster. It's just no one was shooting near me.
Anyway. Also, wait, Kenny's in here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny, do you remember the zombie thing that we did when I was the zombie? Remember that?
Dude, yeah, that shit was fucking funny, man.
Dude, I'm staring at
I
these
want to
clips,
recreate
bro.
that, dude.
Dude, we need to do that with
That
the whole
was so
regiment.
funny.
Okay, so to explain this,
Yeah.
Kenny and I were on at like 3 a.m. We're fucking dead tired after the zombie event. And we're fucking around in Game Master and
I'm
shit.
so excited for the zombies
Hey,
event.
And we were
this month.
spawning fucking zombies and all doing all sorts of goofy shit. When I realized I could take control of one of the big black dudes, control him, make him make him non-invincible. 1, make him non-invincible, and 2, make him invisible. I gave them machine guns, and we were in a high-rise building. So it's like, so we just were like, don't leave the building, survive. It's like,
You remember when I was send that clip? You remember when I was like spraying through the room to try and get you, and I just ran and jumped out the window?
This is what I was looking at.
The show is so funny.
Dude, he
You
just
know what
okay.
could
It's so
be an
funny, bro.
idea?
He jumps out the window to avoid.
was
being
terrifying,
mauled by me.
dude.
He's like mag dumping into every fucking corner, just do.
I was looking for the rounds to stop. Like I was looking for when I hit you, but
And he just
That's why I was
jumps out
spraying
the
the
fucking
room.
window and kills himself to
So,
avoid me. It's
I
the
just had an
funniest shit.
idea for something we definitely need to. Oh, Kenny got kicked somehow. I don't know who's planning the Halloween
So sad.
event or zombie Halloween event, but please utilize the making things invisible to have a fucking ghost encounter at some point where you have don't make the zombie invulnerable. Like, you know, you have to fucking, I don't know, get through
It's
an
really
area
hard to
with this
do that
ghost.
though.
Like
It's really
controlled
hard to do
ghosts.
that.
No, yeah.
So with the AI, like, so you have to spawn the AI somewhere else and then take control of it. And then it's not like as game master, like there's no mod that I know of that can let you, like, as an admin, see the players through the walls, because that would make it significantly more cinematic. If I could see which way you guys are facing, I can stay in the corner of your vision. So what I end up doing a lot, or at least what I ended up doing to Kenny while I was bullying him, is I would just put him, like, I would like spawn the zombie, but I would spawn it like in the room, like behind him, and then I would like beat on the wall behind him, so I'd get him to turn around, and then I'd sprint around to the door, and then he would just do through the fucking door, and then I'd enter when he broke his fire, and then I'd just stand next to him. Also, where the fuck is Warlord in here? Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
I'm in here.
Okay. Wait, did Combat Country get kicked too?
No,
What the fuck?
Kenny got kicked.
Wait, no,
It's
but
me,
there's
you,
only-
Warlord, and UAV.
Okay, so it was just Kenny. Why did that? It looked like somebody else got kicked too for some reason on my thing.
I hope that doesn't mess up his audio for the whole thing.
That would suck. Warlord, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You've been pretty quiet. buddy.
Also, I do got to say, like, I need to get off now because I work in the morning and it's about my bedtime.
shit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I wasn't even going to do the podcast tonight, but I decided to jump in.
Well, thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate it. Even though you said you weren't going to.
Well, yeah, because I knew it would be up. We'd be up late, and I work in the morning, but so I need to hop off now.
No worries.
I don't-
We can wrap up. We can wrap up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, but check before we wrap up. Check out that fucking clip I just put in memes and Misc, dude. It's
Oh, I
fucking-
watched it.
Well, hold on. Kenny says, Warlord, before we start, Kenny says he
Oh
wants.
shoot.
get
shit, my
invited
bad.
back in. And then
There he is.
before we do dissipate, I just wanted to
There
say
he is. Right
before
there.
we go,
Aha.
before I
I
wanted
see
to
that.
I would like to take a quick little break, real quick, and I have 3 questions here,
Hopefully they don't
and
fuck
we
the
only
audio.
one, the two of us have to answer in short form. Uh, these are just questions that the regiment members put in. I'm thankful that they answered my poll.
Oh,
Uh,
the 2 serious ones? Did you find like 2 actual
there
ones,
there
not
was
just like
Do you guys
three.
bullshit
hear me, by the
questions?
way?
There was 3. Well, technically there was 4 because one of them was mine, but I didn't choose mine. So
Hello?
question
Hello,
Yeah,
one
we
here.
can hear you. We
Okay,
can hear you.
cool.
Ken.
Thank you.
So question 1 is Duskfall. He asks, what do you personally believe is the best aspect of the regiment? We'll just go around just 1 to 2 sentence answers, and then we'll ask question 2, question 3.
Kenny, you go first.
Whoa,
On the spot. Go.
what are the questions?
What's the best
What's
aspect
my
of the
name?
regiment?
What's the what now?
The
Best
best
aspect
aspect
of
of
the
the regiment.
regiment.
Uh, the community for sure. We've kind of got a brotherhood going at this point for sure for a long time. Um, I love that we can create game master missions and have different people that prefer doing different things, and uh, I think we should be promoting game master more and get some more creators
Absolutely.
involved. UAV's getting involved. I love that. I need to get re-involved. Um, Jev, you've not done one in a while. Um,
Yeah, I've been assisting with quite a
yeah.
few, but I haven't been able to do it because I've been trying to live and make more money.
No, I
There you
understand.
go.
I
There you
understand.
go. All right, Combat. What's your answer for that?
I mean, obviously the community, like Kenny said, but two things. And we'll like Kenny touched on this, but the game masters as well as just any events we really host, like just
Yeah.
the big because the game master for me is so much more fun even than playing conflict. Having like a set story like that, just playing together stuff like that, there can be so much more happen, so much more fun done in a game master mission than any conflict match. But obviously, conflict and having people to play together, community is really fun, and not even just Arma, because I know quite a few of us play other games, Helldivers, Minecraft. I mean, just
When
I don't know,
Helldivers first
community
came
is
out
Wobbly
on
really
Live.
Xbox, we had like a full group of people trying to play with each other. We had like 30 people trying to play with each other in 4-person lobbies, bro. It's ridiculous.
Warlord. What is your opinion?
I mean, I think the fact that we have managed to hold together for more than 12 months, and the fact that people are becoming more involved, I think that's my favorite part of aspect of the regiment, that people are starting to realize that, this is not just a small group or a small community that just wants to play together, but they actually want to build it and turn it into something that's much bigger than what it is right now. I think that's my favorite part about it. I'm pretty excited to see what who else comes forward and who else wants to pitch in and and just like I have my thoughts on this, but I think also the other thing about what's my favorite part about the regiment is the fact that, out of 100 people, we've got like one or two or three or four people that really want to make a difference in our community.
Okay, I'll be right
So
back. Sorry.
I think I think that for me is the favorite part, just the fact that there's people willing to step up and go and do extra things other than just kind of play together.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you wanna? What is your opinion? What do you think? What would your opinion be on it, Jeff, for this one?
My favorite thing about the regiment is the fact that I can go into a normal game, not even a game master or anything, and I can play with somebody, and then I can say, "Hey, by the way, we do this," and then show them the regiment, and they come and join, and they either join my squad or they find another squad that they're more comfortable with, and then they go and they play with them. So yes, the community, right? But the way that our community specifically works, I seriously enjoy the way that we recruit people because 90% of the time, it's not just like, hey, join. It's like, hey, look, this is what we do. We're here. If you would like some fun and you would like to not get team killed every 3 seconds,
And that's very
join the
effective
regiment.
because all we have to do, is just explain what we do as a community.
Yeah.
And most people that I've run into, once you explain it, they're like, "Oh, hell yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
fun."
exactly. It's like you don't even need to participate as crazy as I do or Sirius does or Warlord even though he's like the leader of us. Like you don't have to participate like that. You don't even have to be a fucking squad member. You can just play with us. If you're active, you don't even need to be in a squad. You just play with the regiment. Like, of course, it would make more sense to be in a squad once you're active, but it's like you don't need to be. And then something else that I really, really like about the regiment is the fact that it's given me an opportunity to be creative. For a long time, I struggled with what game can I play that I can enjoy, and what game can I play that I can sink just hours upon hours upon hours into it, and then enjoy my outcome. I don't need any fucking fancy skins. I don't need any fucking weird ass upgrade path trees. Just something that I can actually distinctively create in. And I think that the regiment helped me do that. And it helped me find people who want to see that as well.
Nice, nice. I won't really touch on it. I just think the community is really good, and really all I have to say about that for that aspect. Just gonna be quick, and then I'll just do the second question. I'll save optics for the next podcast. So BTB asks, Arma is known for its extreme realism, and it's in her personal opinion as well. How do you think that affects new gamers when they're trying to learn in real time playing? We'll start with combat.
Oh fuck! I was gonna listen to other people. Honestly, though, yeah, we get a lot of like Call of Duty players and stuff in that don't that have no experience with milsim, because that's what it is, military simulation game. Like it's a lot of realism, but how it affects new players, I think it can be overwhelming for a lot of people. Like my father, I tried to teach my dad how to play, and the first match we're rushing. He grabs a PKM and some shit. We run out. He's firing. He's laying down on it. It runs out of ammo, and he's like, "How do I reload? Why can't I?" And I was thought about it. I was like, "Let me see your backpack." He drops it. He had no fucking ammo. He grabbed the gun just expected he'd have ammo because Call of Duty, Battlefield, you grab a gun,
Yeah, you have a gun, you have ammo, right?
That was a failure on me because I didn't teach him.
So,
but
Lord Kenny needs to be added back in for the second time this session.
He must have that
Kenny,
internet or
Kenny has
something.
decided to
Oh,
delete
shoot.
himself.
Yeah,
I
Kenny
don't know-
decided.
I don't know what he's doing.
Kenny has decided to just have spotty connection.
Yeah. Damn it,
I'll
Kenny.
wait for him to get back in before.
Says he's-
Before I
I say I don't. Hard to, I guess, talk too much on that. I can't think of much. I guess in BTB, I mean, she's got Jeff teaching her. Just
kind of. I haven't really had the time to teach her as
Oh
much
God.
as I want
Okay.
to,
Well, never mind. I
because,
guess.
Yeah, no, she's kind of figured it out with UAV and Optic. Have really stepped up and helped teach her. And the biggest problem that I end up running into is that she only wants to play like the game masters and stuff. She won't go play like all the other stuff that we do. And when she does, I'm leading the whole fucking group because Warlord's not there, or so there's always been something in the way for me to teach her and like actually play with her. So luckily, I have an awesome squad. So, but how I think it affects, because I have taught person after person after fucking person to play Arma. Warlord came up with the boot camp thing, but I've been teaching people since way before boot camp. As soon as I started getting into this game and I learned everything within the first 2 months, bro, and I noticed that there were still new people every single day that I was running into. I've always 99% of the time been friendly and compassionate and showing people how to play. And I think I have decent experience about this. When it comes to people who are playing Call of Duty, playing Battlefield, playing Minecraft, playing fucking any plethora of other game that they come from, survival, even games that are extremely similar like Daisy, there's a big learning curve. Um, and I think that a supportive community really needs to be there. Like in, for instance, our good old Rock and Stone game, the Dwarven Mining Simulator.
Yeah, a
You
big
know,
thing with that, we need to instruct people coming from Minecraft that Arma is not fucking Minecraft. Don't build
okay.
a damn fort,
Anyway,
dude.
You
dude.
shut your mouth. I love my
Anyway,
Minecraft simulator in
yeah.
Arma.
Anyway,
You build my
as you're
damn
wrong, you're
castle.
fucking wrong. Anyway, as I was saying, um, in Arma, if you look at all those games that have really really good communities like Deep Rock Galactic and Helldivers, and they have really really positive communities, unlike games like Rust and some of those other super toxic games, Call of Duty.
Dude, I could not imagine the Regiment and Rust.
Dude, yeah. So it's like when people come from those other games though that are super toxic, Rainbow Six Siege, my old main game, you have to teach them how to be fucking nice to people in a video game, which I think a lot of
I
people
think you
really
still
aren't
need work on
fucking
that,
used to.
Jeff.
I'm only mean to my friends because I love them. So you can go fuck yourself, you little fucking butt slide. All right. Anyway, but when it comes to new people, like very rarely am I addicted to them, and only am I addicted to them when they're addicted to me first. And I don't know, just being able to uh, learn, I feel like is what everybody should come into Arma doing, is like, hey, I'm gonna learn some shit. And if that's not what you want from a game, you don't want to learn anything, you just want to turn your brain off. Honestly, it's really hard to do in fucking Arma. that's really hard to do. This is a thinking man's game. All your movement is slow and sluggish and gay as fuck. So you have to really, there's a lot of weapon sway. There's all this bullshit. You really have to want to learn actual tactics and tactics that apply to the game. So when you get people who are like that, who are willing to learn, that's the people that I invite to the regiment. And that's the group I have in my squad. They're all people who are willing to learn or who already have through some other means. And that's, I think, the key to being a really good player in this game is listen to the community. Because there's, people who play Arma with thousands of hours, like Soul. Bro, Soul. Jesus Christ, 16,000 collective hours in Arma style games is insane.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and there's a reason he's so good at fucking video games, is because he doesn't have a job. So he doesn't actually not have a job. He has a good job, makes a lot of money. But like that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Like he has a lot of hours doing this shit. So and the people like that, they will teach you. They understand what it's like to be there day one, not fucking know anything and trying to figure it out all yourself. So that's my 2 cents. Just listen to your friends.
Well, I think it's been probably like 15 minutes since we were supposed to wrap it up. So I think for Combat Country, we should probably end it here.
Combat, go to bed.
If I
Old
can
man.
technically get out without ruining the recording, I mean,
I hope
I
mine.
think it's gone on pretty. I think we've covered everything except the.
Yeah, no, just if
Last
I leave while y'all are
Yeah.
still recording.
Yeah. That's true. No, we'll go ahead and conclude now. Right, UAV.
Yeah.
So
we can.
yeah, we'll just wrap up. Thank you everyone for being part of the podcast today. Appreciate it. I'll go ahead and start. After we conclude this, just wait until the thing starts. Saying that the download's complete and so on. And then the next time I'll start working on the. I think for next week we should start seeing like some short clips coming out, and then I'll go ahead and start working some magic on that. We'll post those clips on YouTube and social media. So
If I can find one, I've got a funny clip to send you. So
yeah,
funny,
yeah,
haha.
yeah. If you
Well,
guys,
quick clip.
yeah, if you guys got anything that you want to send over, just send it over, and we'll upload to the Regiment YouTube or
I was
uh,
going to, I was getting supplies from the lower supply point at hospital, and I drove my truck down, and I was like slamming on the brakes, and the truck like just stopped and like tinked, like tink, the fucking supply point, and it all came crumbling down, and all the supplies disappeared. I was so mad, dude. It was so funny though.
yeah, sounds like a Kenny story. But definitely. Well, guys, again, thank you. I will see you all next time, and I think UAV is going to be in charge of putting these podcasts together as well. So, uh, you know, just let us know when the next podcast is going to
Yeah.
be UAV, and let's start getting names and stuff
Yeah.
for the
All
next
right.
one.
Yeah. I think my goal is for it to be the 7th, like the weekend of the 7th, 8th, and 9th. I'd rather get a roommate here in a minute. So I have to kind of switch out like what I'm gonna do, what times I'm gonna be on, that kind of thing. So I think coming like when it comes down to it, I'm gonna try and schedule it for when I'm start scheduling podcasts. Like if I want to attend them, like if when I'm home at in Kansas. So uh that way I don't have like a limit on kind of like what I can do, what I can do it kind of thing. So that weekend is my birthday, so I'm planning to do it then. I feel like that's a good time. I think the new update should be coming out by then, the 1.5 update, which is one of my talking points I wanted to do, but we couldn't do. So yeah, that's my plan. I'll probably put it a little earlier so we can have everyone attend without any issues if that works. I feel like that was kind of my fault. And it was kind of rocky, kind of started up, but hopefully we can get those kinks kind of sorted out next week. I mean, not next month, and yeah, that's kind of it.
Sounds good, brother. Well, everyone have a good night, and we'll see y'all next time. Take
Is
care,
everybody
guys.
getting on? Have a good one.